thanks very much for sticking with us. Big program, Timmy. That was a big one, mate. That was a big one. We talked a bit of footy. We talked a bit of Gaelic footy.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Looking forward to that.
We look forward to that, rowing. And of course a bit of netball. So we've covered pretty much.
And how to get yourself to the next level.
That's right. And we've spoken about the showdown, and we're not going to talk about that anymore because that's done and dusted. Had we won, we might have stuck it. But no, good luck to them. But mate, I'm a little bit disturbed about the dissent rule. No.
Are you showing dissent about dissent?
I am. I am.
Right.
You're going to send me off? No, two things: stand rule and dissent. Yep. Those two things there, to me, and I'm serious about this, they are ruining the game. They are ruining the best game in the world. This is the best sport in the world, in my opinion. Hardest to play and best sport in the world. In my opinion, mate, this dissent, that particular one, GWS Carlton, where GWS, these things look dodgy to me because GWS fought like crazy to get themselves in front. They were there and there was not long to go, and then bang, dissent. And when that umpire turned to, I think it was Whitfield, and said to him, he did that to me, and that's why I paid it, I thought, I felt like switching off. I thought, that's it, mate, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I can't stand the stand rule and the dissent rule. If the guy actually abuses the umpire, I have got no issue with it. But when a spur of the moment thing, where a guy goes, oh, come on, which is really all he's done, and he gets a free kick 15 metres out straight in front, to me, that's either dodgy or that ump should never umpire again. Yeah,
look, there's a few things to unpack there. Firstly, the 50 metre, I think, in my opinion, is too harsh a penalty anyway.
Yeah.
Bring it back like the Sandfield does, 25.
Yeah.
I think that automatically fixes one issue where something that's not that big an infringement becomes 50. It's just too big a penalty. Yeah. So 25 would help that straight away. Yeah. As far as the umpire dissent goes and the like, what's happened is once upon a time, and I can tell you when I played, I think the way players spoke to umpires was wrong, incorrect, and should have been corrected back then. So over time, we've addressed that to a point where the pendulum has swung too far. We've overcorrected, and now we've got people who are just going, you're kidding me. Yeah. Or one guy said, I couldn't see that. Yeah. And he sort of pointed to the scoreboard, right, come back with me 50 metres. Yeah. If we got to that sensitivity level, then that's too far.
Way over the top.
That's where you're coming from, and I agree. The standing on the mark, for mine, has developed nicely. The reason you're getting fast play, and the reason Collingwood play like they do, is because of the standing on the mark, because it stops them being corralled in. They can go forward, get the forward handball, which they normally wouldn't, and that's why you don't see anywhere near as much kicking back and around, because they can go forward. Yeah. And that has changed the game, and why scoring has been at a higher rate than it did when we had 7 behind the ball and we were able to block off all angles to transfer the ball.
But the 666 does that, surely.
That helped the bloke behind the ball, but the playing on has definitely come from the man standing the mark. So I haven't minded that one. The dissent thing, I think you're right. The pendulum's just gone too far.
Ridiculous to me, and really it's ruining the game. Now you've got 4 of them out there. The umps do a good job, and it's a hard game to umpire. Don't get me wrong, I'm not even a crack at them, but lighten up a bit. Just lighten up a bit.
I was expecting an advantage on 4 umpires being able to see more. I'm disappointed when they miss obvious things inside those 50s. So that's life there.
Well, I'm unhappy with a couple of people here. I'm going to give you one, Mason Cox.
Yep.
Mason Cox gets a soft free kick 20 metres out from goal, kicks a goal, turns around and goes, shh. What's that?
Oh.
What is that? I mean, he's got majority of Collingwood supporters. Is he telling them to be quiet, or what's he doing?
It's not just Mason. I've seen too many people do the be quiet thing. And
exactly.
Unfortunately, we're watching a lot of US sports. A lot of those things come from the US sports because they like to be more flamboyant, perhaps. Than
also, thanks very much for joining us today, mate, on the program. Really appreciate it. Great to see you again, in fact. And
we'll have to do it again sometime.
You'll have to do it again sometime. Well, Ando won't be back for another 6 months with his haircut, so we might get you in again. Thanks very much for staying with us, folks. Really enjoy it. See you next week on the program.